strong and secure. And this scripture is right here with all these words.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All of these words represents just that one scripture. So next, the next question is, then what is strength? Well, according to the dictionary, strength is mental power, force. I should write that here. Write that on here, brothers. So it's mental power. This is not the best marker.
So we can throw that one away.
We're going to put this on the side. But mental power is not up there, and force isn't up there.
Yeah, because strength is a force. Yeah.
All right, so mental power, force, courage we have up there, and then it says the power to resist force, something or someone that gives one strength or is a source of power or encouragement. So that is what strength is. So I have a space on the paper for you guys to write whatever you believe strength to be and also what it is that we just talked about today. So our Chayil woman of the hour that God has given me today is Esther.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about how she is a Chayil woman and how she exemplifies strength through her own life. So, for us today, we're going to, most of our text will be coming from Esther chapter 4, but I'm going to start with just a little bit of background. So as we know, if you go all the way back to Esther chapter 1, King Xerxes, I can't say the other name, Ahasuerus, I think it is, he sent for Vashti, which was his wife, right? He sent for the queen, and she declined him. She said, no, I'm beautiful. I'm here with my girls. This is in my mind now. I'm here with my girls. I'm having a good time. And I'm not going. He sent for me while I'm not ready to go. But at that moment, he was full of rage and he was upset. So he talked to his boys, you know, all his other nobles that was around him, and asked them, well, what should we do? So they said, well, we need to go ahead and boot her, so you need to divorce her. Again, this is me talking. This is how I'm breaking it down in my head.
No, good.
But you can read the text. This is what happened. But they said, you know what? You need to go ahead and boot her and divorce her. And let's put somebody else on the throne next to you that looks just as good, if not better. And we're going to let her know who the boss is. That's basically what they said to her. And when I read that, it came to me, God spoke to me, and he says, your attitude can affect the whole nation. Because when they said it, they said, well, if she doesn't come when you call for her, then all the other women in the kingdom are going to hear about it. And then they're going to decide, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm defying my husband. You sent for me, I'll be over there in a minute. So because she was not submitting to her husband at that time and according to their laws and guidelines, they said, okay, well, we're going to get rid of her and move her out of the way. So God showed me, he said, your attitude can affect the whole nation because, again, that was going to affect generations. So they put someone else in that place. So at the time, Esther was there. She was a Jew. But again, the Jews were still in captivity at the time. Well, some of them had the opportunity to go back to Jerusalem and build, and some of them stayed. But Esther's parents died, as we all know. So when her parents died, Mordecai, which was her dad's nephew, which would make it her cousin, he decided to take her in and to raise her. And so when you think about it, that has happened in a lot of our families where family members have either died or they're unable to take care of their children. It has happened in my family, not to me personally, but to one of my family members where their father died, didn't have their mother, so they were raised with my parents, and that became my auntie. So that's how we were raised. And so now that I look at it, I said, oh, I see her story in Esther. But when I look at it some more, one of the first strengths that stood out to me for Esther was that she was able to survive the loss of her mother and her father. And that is what made her a strong woman to begin with. That started her foundation because Mordecai helped her in her life. So now you're thinking she has to deal with the loss of her mother, the loss of her father. Her cousin is now raising her. So you can only imagine the torment and the things that she went through. Now the queen is gone, and he tells her, you know what? Why don't you go and sneak in? Don't tell them who you are. But let's see if you can go up there as well. So this is what happened. So we're walking through some background here. So she goes undercover in the palace. And when she goes undercover in the palace, I noticed, okay, well, that's another strength that she has because she's hiding her identity. Now, oftentimes that happens to us. We can go and serve all these other people. We can go to work. We can sit there and try to apply for all these positions, but you don't see us walking around saying, I'm a child of the Most High, and I have all this favor, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get that. No, we stay humble, right? Mm-hmm. And we're quiet. And we work just like everybody else. And we just say, let my light shine. They're going to notice me. Now, in the book of Esther, outside of the Songs of Solomon, this is the only book in the Bible, outside of the Songs of Solomon, where God is not mentioned, but his presence is still there. He's still moving behind the scenes. So as we move forward and we go through the text some more, we were looking at it, so I said, okay, she's afraid right now because, again, she's a Jew, so she's not quite sure what's going to happen because some of them are still in captivity. Then we have some that are over here. You know, we just kind of live, and we have the opportunity to go home, but we live in because we still have a little bit of freedom over here. So as I read and I went down a little further, I began to look into her strengths, and so she began to use her beauty, and she went there, and she's going through all of her treatments and everything that she has to get before she prepares herself and goes to the king. So then he sees her, and he's like, ooh, I like what, this is going to be my new wife. So then I looked at it, and I said, why Esther? Why did she get chosen? Because in the world, then we have to go back and put ourselves in this situation. So somebody get fired, right? It's a position that opens up. And you go get it, and people are trying to figure out why did they get it. They're like, she got that position by default because they got fired. No, she got that position by purpose because she had a purpose. That's why she got it. It wasn't by default. She had a position by purpose. So then as I continued to read, there was the plot, right? Here's the plot twist. You have Haman. Everybody come bow down to me. The king, he loved me. Do what I do. You bow down to me. You be happy. I'm happy. We all happy. Well, who didn't want to bow down? Mordecai, her uncle or her cousin, the one who raised her. But she loved him so much that she said, you want me to go and be over here with the king. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be the Chayil woman that you raised me to be. And I'm going to serve. But then he doesn't want to bow down. So now it's the plot to kill the Jews, which is, in that case, the biblical who? Hitler. We have this plot. So it's a cycle history. Okay. So now we're sitting here looking at this where she's getting ready. She's sitting there preparing herself, having a good time with her girls, but then she sees, hold on, something wrong because my cousin is out here suffering. And as women, that weighs heavily on our hearts. I mean heavily. If you see your family member or your friend suffering, let me stop doing what I'm doing, and I'm going over here. What happened? What's wrong? But she couldn't get there, so what did she do? She sent somebody to him. And oftentimes, we can't always get to the people that we need to get to. So in modern day, I'm going to send you a text. I'm going to make a phone call. I can't get there. Hey, Shonda, can you do me a favor? I need you to run to such and such and go over there and see what's going on because I got this crazy text message. So she sent somebody over there to find out what was going on. So when she found out what was going on, Mordecai told her, you need to go and you need to talk to the king. Now that right there would have scared the mess out of me, just like it scared Esther, because she could not go see the king unless she was summoned. So unless you are summoned to come, you cannot go. So she tried to tell him this bogus excuse that I would have used. Let him know that if I show up unannounced, he will kill me. I can't do that. But then I looked at Esther chapter 4, and Mordecai had to use a little bit of wisdom as well as fatherhood. And he said to her about, let's see, verse 13, he says, and I'm reading from Amplified, it says, then Mordecai told them to return this answer to Esther. Do not flatter yourself that you shall escape in the king's palace any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance shall arise for the Jews from elsewhere. But you and your father's house will perish. And who knows but that you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this and for this very occasion. In other words, he told her, don't think that your cute face is going to keep you. Don't think that whatever you can give him will keep you, because Haman, this evil man right here, is coming for all the Jews. What makes you think that one of us out here, not saying that it's him, but what makes you think that somebody's not going to blow your cover while they die? But Esther a Jew too. She in there with him right now. Right. What makes you think that your name not going to be called and they're going to check you off the list? Right. It doesn't matter. So then he went back and he smoothed it over. You beautiful. But with love, you may have been called for a time such as this. So maybe you want to rethink that, right? So oftentimes we think, you know, I look good, I'm popular in this area. I mean, it couldn't possibly happen to me, so that's on them, and it don't have nothing to do with me. I've been guilty. Sometimes I'm like, that ain't even got nothing to do with me, so I'm just going to go on this side. That's what they did. And God is like, but you know you can help, right? You know you can step in and intercede, because sometimes we be like, can I turn the other cheek even though it didn't happen to me? Can I just turn this way even though it didn't happen? But it's like, okay, are you going to help your brothers and your sisters? Or are you going to look elsewhere and the relief come from elsewhere, and then torture and torment and death comes to your family and those curses come because you didn't help this family or help your brothers and sisters in time of need? And that's what Mordecai was trying to get her to see. So then when I looked at it, I said, hold on. I said, she decided to fight back with the enemy on this one, and she did what I like to call, you know how we have our little clap back. Everybody be like, oh, I'm going to have a little clap back. She did a spiritual clap back with the devil. She said, you know what? Tell everybody to fast with me. Tell everybody to pray with me for the next 3 days, and it's going down. So I said, oh, that was the ultimate clap back. She said, because, you know, they're not mentioning Satan. They're not mentioning the enemy, you know, and the evil spirits and stuff. She just said, you know what? Because, again, in her mind, God is with me. So she said, I'm going to fast. Y'all come with me. And see, that's how we gain strength as Chayil women. We have to come together and unite with our brothers and sisters. We have to have that one friend or family member who charge us up like Mordecai, remind us. Don't forget that just when you was 8, you ain't had no teeth. All 4 of yours still wasn't there, because that was me, y'all. My 4 front teeth was gone for a long time. I was bald mouth. But don't forget that you was that little girl who didn't have no teeth up front. But look at you now, and you mean to tell me you not going to help somebody? We always need that sister, mom, brother, somebody to remind you of where you come from. So he had to remind her, this is where you come from. Now you're in a position where you can help save a nation, and you choose to kind of walk away in fear. So when he charged her up and gave her that strength, it was like, I'm strong. I'm going to clap back. We're going to fast and pray. So then after she fasted and prayed, you know, she all clean in the spirit and purified and cleansed. Now she said, hold on, let me make sure I dress up real nice. She had to dress up real good now to get his attention, because remember, he got to summon her. He got to throw that gold scepter out to say, come on. So she got dressed real nice, and then she went and she stood in the doorway, and he said, let me extend this scepter to her to come. And then she looked so good, he told her, he said, well, you know what? You can have whatever you want, up to half the kingdom. Whatever you want. Now, y'all know, I'm single, but when I would go out and date, I'm not dating right now, but when I would go out, I would make sure I was dressed, because when I went on my date, I was getting whatever I wanted. Right. You was going to look at me first to give me what I wanted. And that's what happened. So when I looked, I said, oh, that's me. I put myself in her. I said, oh, girl, that's you right there. The text. She just got dressed. She prepared herself. But it was for a greater purpose. So she said, well, you know what? How about y'all come over and y'all have dinner? So now it's one of those family situations. I'm going to cook dinner. She didn't have to cook, but put yourself in. She said, you know what? How about y'all come on over to the house, cook dinner? I'm spread out real nice for you. So he come, now he anxious. Well, baby, what is it? What do you need? What can I give you? And so she's like, oh, you and Haman just come on and come eat, because she invited the enemy to the table, right?
Right.
Okay? So the table's prepared right there with her enemy. Come on, pull up a seat. Let's go ahead and eat. She made him real comfortable. So they sitting there eating. He said, well, what is that you want? She said, I just want you to come back another night. Just come back tomorrow. So at this point, Haman is, he on his high, right? He feeling good. But there was another thing that happened in the midst. He wanted all the Jews killed because Mordecai would not bow down to him. But in the midst of that, the king had him go and parade Mordecai all around town with his robe on and his nice jewelry and things, because Mordecai had saved the king's life, right? So now, he feel good, but in the same breath, he's like, I'm trying to kill him, but he making me parade and showboat him around town. Esther got me over here at this nice royal dinner. What's going on? So his wife told him when he got back to the house, she was like, Haman, you probably gonna fall over Mordecai, because if he had you take him all around town, I don't know. But mind you, her name, if you read in the Bible, her name was the first one mentioned, where she said, won't you build a gallows and hang him then? It said her name and then everybody else. Now she's gonna come back. It's always the one that's gonna puff you up, right? Then they're gonna come back. You know what? Hold on, second thought. We need to go ahead and regroup, because I don't know if we're gonna win this one. So that's what happened. So then that second time came around, right? So now she's done her self-sacrifice, where she's fasted, she's prayed, she's prepped herself. She already went and put herself out in the line of fire, hoping that she didn't get killed, but she knew she wasn't, because again, she went and did this fast. Now they've had dinner. Now it's time for the second dinner. And so when I looked at it, I said, okay, so she's sitting here and she's gaining. And she's getting her strength from her brothers and her sisters, because they're fasting and praying and they're uniting together, right? I said, but then she did that self-sacrifice, which is something that we often do. We'll put ourselves in the line of fire and put ourselves on the back burner, trying to help others to make sure everybody else is good.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I do it all the time. I'm like, well, what's going on now? Okay, let me see how I can make this work to help you. But what's going on? Let me go over here. Okay, I'm going to come support you on this day, then I'm going to do that, then I'm going to come back over here and do this. Then I'm like, okay, whatever. Then last weekend was a big crazy weekend, and then I'm coming home yesterday from work trying to take a nap, knowing I got stuff to do, self-sacrifice to make sure everybody else together, but you still have to take care of yourself. And so that was another thing that she showed as a Chayil woman, how we self-sacrifice so much for others. And she sacrificed herself for the nation and for the Jews at that moment. So then it came time for that second dinner. And when they came around for that second dinner, he said, okay, this 2 days in a row, my wife's looking good, I'm eating good, Haman right here. He said, just tell me what you want. What is it that you need? Just tell me. So then she basically, in so many words, she said, it's some people out here. She was basically talking in like third person, without, like, he's not even right here. It's some people out here that want to kill the Jews. She said, and I can't have my people die. That's what she basically told. I can't stand by and watch my people die, because now at this point she's exposing herself and letting him know that you had not only a Jew living here with you, because he was a Persian king. You not only have a Jew living with you, but now you have one that you have married and laid with. Right. So now she exposing herself. So now can you imagine, he all kinds of overwhelmed. Hold on, it's a Jew in my house. I have been blindsided by her beauty. I didn't even think to ask all these questions. So now, he's sitting here like, okay, she me here undercover, but that's okay. That's my wife and I love her. Now I have Haman in my right hand, and he's trying to kill her off and her people. He said, oh no, Haman, you got to go.
All right. He
said, it's time for you to go. Mm-hmm. So then, Haman is really upset, right? I'm just walking through the story, but y'all give you a good. So Haman is really upset. So now he about falling at her feet all over the couch. Y'all know how you be so extra. Say, oh, Lord, help. Help Esther. Because if it was me, I'd say, you went begging and pleading a few minutes ago when you was trying to kill us. But no, Esther, she held her temper. I said, ooh, Chayil strength.
There you go.
I said Chayil strength because she did not lose her temper. She did not have an attitude because Fanesha would have had an attitude. That's why the book is not called Fanesha. It's called Esther. And Esther was in the story because God knew that I would not have been strong enough at that time. Now I can handle it, with some strength and some dignity. Proverbs 31:25, strength and dignity. I can do that now. But then I couldn't. And so when I looked at that, I looked at her strength and was like, I think she got a little bit more work to do. Because if somebody tries to come and kill you and your family right now, I'm being 100 and real with y'all, 100 and real. I am not going to be as nice as Esther. The Lord has to help me because in this day and time, you coming from my family, we all coming then, let's go, we gonna fight to the end type of thing. So I said, I said, okay, so what do you learn from this? You have to really fight this with prayer because that's what Esther showed us. You don't fight it physically, you fight it spiritually, and that's what makes you stronger. And that's where we all sometimes, I'm not going to say all because I can't speak for everybody else, but that's where we sometimes come short because we want to fight it physically in the natural versus in the spiritual. Because I'm going to talk about me again. Back when, I'm not that old, but back when I was hanging out, me and this mouth, we was something serious, and I would cuss you out from the Rudy to the Tootie. And tell you, and what, let's do it. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you, it ain't nothing but space and opportunity. That's what my daddy told me. If they talking too much, you know what to do. When my daddy gave me permission to fight, I didn't know what to do. I was so happy. Nobody wanted to fight me then, y'all. Nobody, everybody wanted to talk. Nobody wanted to fight me then. But then I looked and I said, But then I grew up. And I looked at Esther because Esther could have handled that a different way. And she could have went and said, you know what? He coming from my people. I want you to send everybody out there and do this and that. Now, mind you, they did kill Haman and his people afterwards. But she could have moved too soon. And because of her anger and her pride, then she could have been knocked off the throne. Yeah. Because he would have said, but look at how you presented yourself and how you came to me. It's about the presentation.
Right.
So we have to be mindful of our presentation even when we are fighting things spiritually and we're going to God. And Legine like to always say, I like to lay them on the altar, but you like to throw them at the altar. And so, we both fight differently. So sometimes I have to be like, God, here it is. Because I am a person that I will pray those vindication prayers, but I'm not like Jeremiah where he'd be like, God, close up the wounds. He'd be like, close up their wounds. I read that, I was like, oh, Jeremiah, you mad. I said, he like big super mad. He was praying like some real vindicate me prayers. And I said, well, okay, God, I don't want to pray like that. But Lord, vindicate me. And so she went in a completely different way. And so when I looked at that, I said, you know what? I still have a little bit of work to do. God, I thank you for showing me. And I thank you for showing me Esther and her strength and how she handled this because she was courageous. But what she had right here was some mental power. She had some mental power that I would not have been able to have at that very moment and at that time. So afterwards, she endured all of that. But then I looked because, I kept saying, okay, this is her first strength, second strength, third strength. Okay, she had her courage. So then I looked. And it came to me that she had what I would call in-between strength, which we often have. And what I wrote down is basically you endure everything while you're in transition to your rightful place. So I call it the in-between strength because oftentimes when God is moving us from one position and he's moving us with purpose to our next level and to the next dimension, we have to have that in-between strength because we are fighting on so many different levels, trying to get to this level that he is taking us to, but the car break down. They doing cutbacks at work, so the hours are getting cut. Now the kids sick. Oh, me and my husband, we've gotten into it. Oh, now my pastor talking out the side of his neck, and Lord, I'm just really trying. Like, it's all kinds of things. And then you be like, you're supposed to be my sister in the Lord, and you coming at me crazy because I just decided to show up to church today, but you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So now we arguing about this macaroni and cheese because I decided that I wanted to bring some too, but you mad because it's 2 people. It's more than enough.
Right.
But we fighting over little crazy stuff, so then we have to find that in-between strength to be able to handle every obstacle, every situation. And as women, we are the ultimate multitaskers. We will multitask everything, and that's what we have to learn. Okay, how am I going to have strength in this area, this area, this area, this area, this area, and this one in order for me to get here? And until we learn how to master all of these little areas, we cannot get to our rightful place. There's certain things you have to pass to get there. And so when I looked at it, I said, Esther lost her mama and daddy. I said she had to live undercover. She had to endure the hardship of the Jews, even as a young girl, because again, they were taken into captivity while she was a young girl. So she had to sit there and watch how they treated them and what they had to do and how they treated the men and the women and the children. I said, and then on top of all of that, now she's living in this undercover life, and she's kind of having fun, but I'm sure in the back of her mind, she was having thoughts like, what if they find me out? What's going to happen? Well, how is my uncle slash stepdad, how is he doing, the one who has raised me, and I've left him behind. So she had all of these things going on, but not once did it say that she lost her temper. Not once did it say she folded. Not once did it say she gave up. And all of that, when I was looking at it, I said, that's a strong woman. Because when you look at it, a lot of people look at it like, oh, this is just a love story. She just so happened to get this position. But no, it was on purpose, the reason she got it. When she saved the Jews, she was able to allow God's assignment to continue to go on through generation, through generation, through generation, so that we can all have salvation. But had he killed off all of the Jews, then what?
That's true.
So she was a hero, or a she-ro, as someone like to say. She really was a hero, but a lot of people don't look at it like that. So now, when people come to you, now you can be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm a Chayil woman. I'm strong. Don't underestimate me, because people like to look at women like, oh, well, they weak. They be crying. I like to mess with Legine. I be like, you're such a big crybaby. You're such a big crybaby. But, she cried for people spiritually. And I used to do that all the time when I was younger. Like, I used to cry. My sister used to talk about me. Not like how I would bother her. Like, we would be in church at the altar call. And people would, they would come up and I'd cry. She's like, what you crying for? Just like that. And I'm like, really? But, we carry so many burdens. And so you begin to, people, it just weighs on you. But now you can be like, yes, I'm a Chayil woman. I have feelings. But I am strong. I have mental power. I have courage. I have endurance. I have patience. I am Fanesha. That is my name. And I was created in God's image. And because he is strong, I am strong. Because he has feelings, I have feelings. Because he can do anything, I can do anything, because he is on the inside of me. So we have to stop letting people make us feel like we are less than what we are, and that we are not worthy of different things, because we are. And Esther proved all of that just in her lifestyle, saying, I literally started from the bottom, but look at me now.
Right. Yeah.
I started from the bottom, but I have saved my brothers and my sisters. And when I looked, I said, God, I guess I got some more work to do too then. I said, because if she was able to save the nation, and Esther's attitude saved the nation, because Vashti was going to just kill off some stuff and mess up a whole bunch of things. I said, if she's able to do that, I said, I can only imagine what you're going to allow to happen through little old me. I can only imagine what he'll do through you, and through you. But we cannot stop. We have to have that endurance that she had, and we definitely going to have some patience.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Because I would have folded. Patience would have been out the door when I would have known that my Mordecai was about to be gone. They was going to kill him dead. I would have been gone. and I wouldn't have made it. Patience would have been out the door, and I would have approached the king the wrong way, and he would have been like, I don't know if I should send my scepter or not. I don't know if she's coming from me or not. And so it would have been, it just would not have turned out as well. But now that I see the big picture and the overall thing, I can look at myself and examine myself, but I can also encourage myself. And I wanted to come and encourage you all to know that we are women of strength, women of power, and women of virtue, and that one little Esther, how she saved the nation and how she changed the world, we can do the same thing right here in Charlotte. We are unstoppable. All we have to do is commit to whatever God has told us, stand on it, come together and unite like they did, have those tough conversations with one another or even with our family members and say, don't forget where you came from and don't forget who God is, because you have been called for a time such as this. He's going to complete the work whether you want to come willingly or not. He's going to complete the work and do what he needs to do. So I just came today to say, be encouraged, be strengthened. Please keep mental power as I am working on mental power. And please keep your patience and your perseverance. And I love you.
I love that. That's so